Listen up. Because what I'm about to share could be the difference between walking your grandkids to the park or being stuck in that recliner watching life pass by. Right now, over 14 million Americans over 65 are dealing with knee pain so bad they can barely make it down the driveway to check the mail. But here's what the medical establishment won't tell you. In Japan, seniors in their 70s, 80s, even 90s are walking miles every single day without popping pills or going under the knife. They're not superhuman. They don't have better genetics. What they have are 6 simple habits that American doctors are finally starting to recognize. And I'm going to share every single one of them with you today. But here's the catch. If you skip even one of these habits, you won't get the results. So you need to stick with me until the very end, because habit number 6 is the game changer most people never hear about. Before we dive in, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Why? Because YouTube's algorithm needs to know this information should reach more folks like you who deserve to walk pain-free again. Now, let me ask you something. Have you noticed that your knees hurt more than they used to? Maybe it's that sharp pain when you stand up from the sofa, or that grinding sensation when you climb stairs. Perhaps you've even started avoiding your morning walks because you know you'll pay for it later. If you're nodding along, you're not alone. This is happening to millions of Americans in your age bracket right this very minute. But here's what you need to understand. Your knees aren't failing you because you're getting older. That's the lazy excuse doctors give when they don't want to dig deeper. Your knees are hurting because of how you're using them. And that's actually great news, because if it's a habit problem, habits can be changed. Japanese seniors figured this out decades ago. While we were building suburbs where you need a car to buy a gallon of milk, they were designing their lives around movement. While our doctors were handing out cortisone shots like candy, their seniors were practicing specific techniques passed down through generations. The result? Their joints last longer, their mobility stays sharper, and they're not spending their retirement savings on knee replacements. So what's the first habit? It's going to sound almost too simple, but stick with me. Habit number 1. They walk with intention, not just for exercise. Here's what this means. When you walk just to get your steps in, you're probably walking wrong. You're shuffling, you're leaning forward. You're letting your knees take all the impact because you're rushing through it like a chore. Japanese seniors do something completely different. They walk with purpose and attention to form. Every step is deliberate. They keep their posture upright, shoulders back, like they're balancing a book on their head. Remember when your mother used to tell you to stand up straight? She was onto something. They engage their core muscles, which takes pressure off the knees. And here's the key. They land each step softly, rolling from heel to toe, instead of pounding the pavement like they're trying to crack it. This isn't complicated, but it requires attention. Start paying attention to how you walk, not just that you're walking. When you head out to check the mailbox or walk the dog, think about your posture. Pull your shoulders back. Tighten your stomach muscles just slightly. Land each step gently. Your knees will thank you within days. Habit number 2. They never skip the warm-up even for a short walk. Now, this is where most Americans go wrong. We treat our bodies like old pickup trucks. Just turn the key and go. But your joints aren't 25 anymore. They need preparation. Japanese seniors spend 5 minutes before any walk doing gentle movements to warm up their joints and muscles. And I'm not talking about complicated yoga poses or getting down on the floor. These are simple standing movements you can do while holding onto the kitchen counter. Here's what they do. First, gentle ankle circles. 10 rotations each direction, both feet. This wakes up the connection between your feet and knees. Second, knee lifts. Slowly lift each knee toward your chest, just 5 or 6 times per leg. This lubricates the knee joint. Third, gentle squats using a chair for support. You don't need to go deep. Just bend your knees slightly, maybe 6 inches, then stand back up. 5 to 10 repetitions. This activates your quadriceps, the muscles on the front of your thigh that protect your knees. This 5-minute routine increases blood flow to your joints, warms up the synovial fluid that cushions your knees, and prepares your muscles to do their job properly. Skip this step, and you're asking your cold, stiff joints to perform without preparation. That's when injuries happen. That's when pain gets worse. Think about it like this. You wouldn't drive your car hard on a cold winter morning without letting it warm up first, would you? Your knees deserve the same respect. Those Japanese seniors who are walking miles in their 80s, they haven't skipped a warm-up in decades. There's a lesson in that. Now, I know some of you are thinking, this sounds like it takes too much time. But answer me this. How much time do you spend sitting in doctors' waiting rooms? How many hours have you lost to knee pain keeping you on the couch? 5 minutes of prevention beats 5 hours of treatment every single time, and we're just getting started. The next 4 habits build on these first 2, and each one is more powerful than the last. Especially habit number 6, that's the one that ties everything together and makes the real magic happen. Alright, now that you understand the importance of intentional walking and proper warm-ups, let's talk about something that might surprise you. The third habit Japanese seniors use has nothing to do with walking at all, at least not directly. Habit number 3. They sit on the floor daily. Now, before you tell me you can't get down on the floor, hear me out. Japanese culture includes a lot of floor sitting, during meals, while watching TV, during tea ceremonies, and this isn't just tradition, it's functional fitness disguised as everyday life. When you lower yourself to the floor and get back up, you're performing one of the most comprehensive knee-strengthening exercises that exists. You're building the exact muscles that stabilize your knees. You're maintaining the range of motion in your joints. And you're practicing the movement patterns that keep you independent. But here's the thing. I'm not suggesting you immediately drop down cross-legged on your living room floor. That's a recipe for disaster if you haven't done it in years. Start small and smart. Use cushions. Use a chair for support. The goal isn't to sit on the floor for an hour. The goal is to safely lower yourself closer to the ground and get back up again, even if it's just a few inches at first. Try this. Sit on the edge of your sofa. Now place a couple of firm cushions on the floor in front of you. Using the sofa for support, lower yourself onto those cushions. Sit there for just 30 seconds. Then, using whatever support you need, stand back up. Do this once a day. As it gets easier, remove one cushion. Then eventually remove them both. This single practice will strengthen your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and core. All the muscles that take pressure off your knees when you walk. Japanese seniors who maintain this habit throughout their lives have significantly stronger legs than Americans the same age who spend all day in chairs and recliners. Your knees hurt because the muscles around them have gotten weak. When those muscles are weak, your knee joint bears all the load. That causes wear, tear, inflammation, and pain. Strengthen those muscles, and your knees can finally relax and do what they're designed to do. Habit number 4. They walk on varied surfaces, not just flat pavement. This is huge, and it's something most American seniors never consider. We've paved everything. Our driveways are concrete. Our sidewalks are flat. Our shopping malls have smooth floors. And while that seems convenient, it's actually weakening your knees. When you only walk on perfectly flat surfaces, you use the same muscles in the same way over and over. Certain muscles get overworked. Others barely work at all. Your proprioception, that's your body's ability to sense where it is in space, gets lazy. And your ankles and feet, which should be helping stabilize your knees, stop doing their job. Japanese seniors, especially those in more traditional communities, walk on all kinds of surfaces. Cobblestone paths, gravel, grass, gentle slopes, uneven terrain. This variety forces their feet, ankles, and leg muscles to constantly adapt. Every step is slightly different. Every surface requires micro-adjustments. And all of that variation builds resilient, strong, adaptable joints. Now, I'm not telling you to go hiking through the wilderness. But I am telling you to add variety to where you walk. Instead of just walking on the sidewalk, spend a few minutes walking slowly through your yard on the grass. If there's a dirt path in your neighborhood park, use it instead of the paved trail. If you see gravel, walk on it, carefully and deliberately. These varied surfaces provide something called instability training without you having to do anything special. Your body automatically makes hundreds of small adjustments with every step. Those adjustments strengthen all the small stabilizer muscles around your knees that modern flat surfaces have allowed to atrophy. Start gentle. Walk slowly. Pay attention. But add this variety into your routine at least twice a week. Your knees will develop better support, better balance, and better resilience. And here's something else. Varied surfaces give your brain a workout too. Navigating uneven ground requires focus and coordination. Studies show that seniors who regularly walk on varied terrain have better balance and are less likely to fall. So you're protecting your knees and preventing falls at the same time. There's a reason you don't see many Japanese seniors with walkers and canes compared to American seniors. A big part of it is these small, consistent habits that maintain strength, flexibility, and coordination well into old age. Now, we're halfway through and I've given you 4 solid habits. But the next 2? They're the ones most people never hear about. They're the ones that make everything else work better. And habit number 6 is genuinely the secret sauce that pulls it all together. So don't go anywhere, because what's coming next is exactly what you've been missing. Let me tell you something that's going to sound controversial. Most of the knee pain you're experiencing isn't actually a knee problem. It's a hip problem and a foot problem that's showing up in your knees. And that brings us to habit number 5. Habit number 5. They strengthen their feet and hips, not just their knees. Here's what's happening. Your knee is a hinge joint. It's designed to bend and straighten. That's it. It's not designed to twist, rotate, or deal with side-to-side stress. But when your hips are weak or tight, they can't stabilize your legs properly. And when your feet are weak or your arches have collapsed, they can't provide a stable foundation. So guess what gets caught in the middle absorbing all that stress? Your knees. Japanese seniors understand this instinctively. They don't just focus on their knees, they maintain strength and flexibility throughout their entire lower body. And they do it with simple daily practices. For the feet, many of them still practice walking barefoot at home. Now, I know most American homes have hardwood or carpet, and we're used to wearing slippers or shoes indoors. But walking barefoot, even just around your house for 15 minutes a day, strengthens all those tiny muscles in your feet that have been locked up in cushioned shoes for decades. Strong feet mean better balance. Better balance means your body weight is distributed properly with every step. Proper distribution means your knees aren't taking all the impact. It's all connected. Try this. When you're at home, spend some time barefoot. Walk around your kitchen. Stand at the counter and practice lifting your toes while keeping your heels down. Then lift your heels while keeping your toes down. Sounds silly, but this simple exercise rebuilds the arch support in your feet and strengthens your lower leg muscles. Now for the hips. This is critical. Your hip muscles, particularly your glutes and your hip flexors, control how your entire leg moves. When these muscles are weak or tight, your knees collapse inward when you walk. That inward collapse is one of the main causes of knee pain in seniors. Japanese seniors keep their hips strong through everyday activities. Many of them still squat regularly. Not full deep squats necessarily, but partial squats as part of daily life. They also do a lot of sidestepping movements and hip circles, often as part of group exercises in parks. Here's what you can do. Stand next to your kitchen counter for support. Lift one leg out to the side, just 6 to 8 inches. Don't lean. Keep your body upright. Hold for 2 seconds, then lower. Do 10 on each side. This strengthens your hip abductors, the muscles that keep your knees from collapsing inward. Next, do some hip circles. Hold the counter, stand on one leg, and gently circle your other leg clockwise 5 times, then counterclockwise 5 times. This maintains hip mobility and strengthens the stabilizers around your hip joint. Do these exercises every single day. They take maybe 3 minutes total, but those 3 minutes will do more for your knee pain than a bottle of ibuprofen. Here's the truth. The medical system profits from treating symptoms, not solving problems. They'll give you painkillers. They'll give you cortisone shots. Eventually, they'll recommend surgery. But very few doctors will tell you to strengthen your feet and hips. Why? Because there's no money in it for them, but there's tremendous value in it for you. When you strengthen your feet, your foundation becomes solid. When you strengthen your hips, your legs move properly. When both are working correctly, your knees finally get to relax and just do their simple job of bending and straightening. That's when the pain starts to disappear. Japanese seniors who maintain strong feet and hips well into their 80s and 90s walk with confidence. They're not shuffling. They're not limping. They're not afraid of stairs or uneven ground. And it's not because they have better knees. It's because their entire kinetic chain, feet, ankles, knees, hips, is working as a coordinated system. Your body is a chain. When one link is weak, the others compensate. And that compensation is what causes pain. Fix the weak links and the whole system works better. Now, I've given you 5 habits. Each one builds on the others. Intentional walking, proper warm-ups, floor sitting, varied surfaces, foot and hip strength. Put those 5 together and you're already ahead of 95% of Americans your age. But there's one more habit, and this is the one that honestly makes the biggest difference. It's the one Japanese seniors are almost religious about. It's the one that Western medicine is only now beginning to understand and validate through research, and it's probably the easiest one to implement. This final habit is what separates the seniors who are still hiking and traveling in their 80s from those who are homebound in their 70s. Are you ready for it? Habit number 6. They rest strategically, not constantly. Now this is going to sound backwards compared to everything you've been told. Your doctor probably said, take it easy, rest your knees, don't overdo it. And you know what happens? You rest more, you move less, your muscles get weaker, your joints get stiffer, and your pain gets worse. Japanese seniors do something completely different. They understand that rest and movement aren't opposites, they're partners. They move consistently throughout the day, but they rest strategically between activities. They never sit for hours at a time. And they never avoid movement because of discomfort. Here's what this looks like in practice. They might take a 20-minute walk in the morning. Then they rest for an hour while they have tea and read the paper. Then they do some gardening or housework for 30 minutes. Then they rest again. Then maybe another short walk in the afternoon. The pattern continues all day. Movement, rest, movement, rest. This keeps their joints lubricated. It keeps their muscles engaged without overtaxing them. And it prevents that terrible stiffness that happens when you sit in your recliner for 3 hours watching TV. Compare that to the typical American senior. Wake up, sit through breakfast, sit watching morning TV, sit through lunch, sit all afternoon, sit through dinner, sit all evening. Maybe one 30-minute walk thrown in there somewhere. Then we wonder why standing up hurts, why walking across the room feels difficult, why our knees are killing us. Your joints need movement to stay healthy. The cartilage in your knees doesn't have its own blood supply. It gets nutrients through movement, through compression and release, compression and release. When you sit still for hours, your cartilage isn't getting fed, it's literally starving. Then when you finally do move, it's stiff, painful, and vulnerable to injury. Strategic rest means you're moving multiple times throughout the day. But you're also giving your body time to recover between activities. You're not running a marathon, but you're also not being sedentary. You're finding that middle path that keeps everything working properly. Start implementing this today. Set a timer on your phone or watch. Every 45 minutes, stand up and move for 5 minutes. Walk to the mailbox. Do your hip exercises. Walk around your yard. Just move. Then sit back down and rest. 45 minutes later, move again. This pattern will transform your knees within 2 weeks. I'm not exaggerating. When you start moving regularly throughout the day, your joints stay lubricated, your muscles stay engaged, and your pain decreases significantly. Now, here's how all 6 habits work together. You start your day with a proper warm-up. 5 minutes of gentle movements that prepare your body. Then you take an intentional walk, paying attention to your posture and your form. You walk on varied surfaces when possible. Grass, gravel, gentle slopes. You come home and practice getting down toward the floor and back up again, building leg strength. Throughout the day, you do your foot and hip exercises, just a few minutes here and there. And you move regularly, resting strategically between activities. None of these habits are complicated, none require expensive equipment or gym memberships, none require you to be in great shape to start. But together they create a lifestyle that protects your knees, maintains your mobility, and keeps you independent. Japanese seniors aren't special. They're not genetically superior. They simply have better habits. Habits that have been passed down and refined over generations. Habits that Western medicine is finally starting to validate with research. And now you have these habits too. You have the same information. You have the same opportunity. The only question is, will you use it? Because here's the reality. Your knees aren't going to fix themselves. The medical system isn't going to cure you. They're going to manage you. The only person who can truly solve your knee pain is you, by changing your daily habits. Start today. Pick one habit from this video and implement it immediately. Tomorrow, add another one. By the end of the week, you could have all 6 habits integrated into your daily routine. And 4 weeks from now, you could be walking further, moving easier, and living with significantly less pain. Or you could do nothing. You could close this video and go back to sitting in your chair, hoping things get better on their own. But we both know that's not going to happen. The choice is yours. But you've made it this far in the video, which tells me you're serious about solving this problem. You're not looking for a quick fix or a magic pill. You're willing to put in the small, consistent effort required to get real results. That's exactly the mindset that will succeed. That's the same mindset Japanese seniors have about their health. They take responsibility, they implement good habits, and they maintain those habits for life. So here's what I want you to do. Hit that like button right now. Subscribe to this channel so you do not miss future videos about staying healthy and independent as you age. And then, most importantly, go implement habit number 1 today. Take an intentional walk. Pay attention to your posture. Land each step softly. That's your homework. That's your first step toward walking without knee pain. And I'll be here with more practical, proven strategies to help you stay mobile, strong, and independent for years to come. Your best years don't have to be behind you. With the right habits, they can still be ahead. Now go take that walk. Your knees are waiting,